Constantly doubting yourself? Watch this video to get tips from my favorite experts. For the best information and content on personal development, lifestyle, and entrepreneurship, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every week. It's no doubt that self-doubt is a common issue among many people, especially when you're trying to grow or expand or do something new. If you're one of those people, by the end of this video, you'll hear key advice from a few of my favorite experts that have helped thousands of people overcome self-doubt. Now is your turn to break out and live free. I'm so excited about my first expert, Tony Robbins, or Tony, one of the greatest, most popular life coaches. Tony is big on rituals, and one of them is called priming. He uses this priming to stay positive and to eliminate self-doubt. So take a look at how Tony describes priming.
Habit is to be worried or pissed off or frustrated or stressed, and so they've got a highway to stress and they got a dirt road to happiness. So I wire myself. I've got a highway to gratitude, which changes all your emotions, and then I do a 3-minute process of kind of a prayer for my family and friends, and then I do a 3-minute process of the top 3 things I want to accomplish. I see it as done, and I feel it. I'm done in 10 minutes. So sometimes I go 20. But my deal is 10, so there's no excuse not to do it.
You know what? I think it's a great way to kind of set the tone for the day.
It does. It changes. Listen, we've all had times when you snapped at somebody and you felt bad because it wasn't them, it was the state you're in, right? Well, there's no excuse for that. If you prime yourself, you set yourself up. They've done studies where they go to people and they have a man walk up to you and say, "Could you hold this for me?" He hands you a cup of coffee. It's an actor. And then he takes some out of his pocket, then he takes it back and says, "Thank you." 100 people, they do it with iced coffee. 100 people do it with hot coffee. 45 minutes later, another actor comes by and says, "Listen, we're doing this little test. For $5, would you read this 3 paragraphs and answer 3 questions?" Most people say yes. It's a little story. The questions are about the character. What's the character like? 80% of the people that got iced coffee say the person is cold and mean.
Wow.
81% of the people that got hot coffee say the person is warm and gentle or nice. That's how much we can be primed by our environment. We think we're just feeling what we're feeling, but our environment, if we don't take control of our environment, it takes control of us.
My next favorite expert is the other Robbins, Mel Robbins. She's author of The 5-Minute Rule, and Mel is a no-nonsense kind of gal. She's actually a kind of person that I would have hung out with when I was in the Navy. Mel gives it to you straight. She's a straight shooter, no nonsense. She says, look, you're gonna have these thoughts. So what? We all have them. So suck it up, keep moving. Take a listen to this clip, how Mel describes overcoming self-doubt and the imposter syndrome.
Habit, and it's sort of a pattern. So I don't want you to focus on the thoughts. I want you to focus on taking action. Even though you doubt yourself, you are going to feel like an imposter until you push through that clenched up moment over and over and over again. And then suddenly, through action, Langley, you're going to see that you're not an imposter at all. You're actually the kind of person that pushes through and does what he or she says they are going to do. See, imposter syndrome grows and sticks around when you listen to it and when you keep thinking and when you freeze. The moment you take action, even though you feel like an imposter, you actually explode the syndrome. You kill it. You break it apart because you're not acting like an imposter. You're proving to yourself through the action that you know what you're doing. Now look, the feelings are going to take a while to catch up. The first 16 jobs that you do where you feel nervous, those nerves are going to be there with you the entire time. Feeling nervous is normal. Letting it stop you is a choice. I say this stuff all the time because this is what you're struggling with. If you suffer from imposter syndrome, It's not an issue of whether or not you have the skill. The problem is that you have a pattern of thinking in a way that stops you the moment you start to doubt yourself. If you want to be successful in business, if you truly want that side hustle to turn into your full-time thing, you have to learn how to let the feelings of doubt rise up, but take action anyway.
So far, you've heard from two of my experts, my favorites. Who do you like? Put it in the comments below. Clip number 3 showcases one of my favorite celebrities. This big guy admits that he gets scared and he doubts himself sometimes. You wouldn't know it because he has pushed outside of his comfort zone from professional sports, being at the top of his game, being a sports commentator, to morning talk show host, to Dancing with the Stars, to an erotic male dancer. Here's what Michael Strahan says what to do when he's doubting himself. This is what he does. Take a listen.
I was playing a game against the 49ers. It was a Monday night game, and I had 2 sacks that game, and I had 10 sacks on the year, which is great by football terms. And I was on my way going to another Pro Bowl, which means I was one of the best in the NFL, but I felt horrible. I felt like I was one of the worst players, didn't feel good about myself. And I went to somebody in Arizona who, just reinforced that you have to speak kindly to yourself. You have to talk nicely to yourself. Treat yourself and say to yourself what you would say to somebody else to encourage them. And that's what I started to do. And the next week had a big game against the Cardinals, and it was, in my opinion, in 15 years in the NFL, the best and greatest football game I've ever played. And I think it was because I truly told myself, you can do this. You know how to play this game. You belong in this game. And I've had to use that to do live. I had to use it to do Fox because I wasn't so sure I could be a sports commentator, which a lot of people think is natural for an athlete to be able to do, but it's not. And then to come to morning television, I've had to tell myself that. To do GMA, I've had to tell myself that because I'm as scared and as fearful as anybody else to tackle something new. But I've learned that sometimes I got to give over the fear of not doing it because I'm scared instead of not doing it because I can't do it. And I found that I was more just worried about being scared and what the repercussions were, actually more than really feeling like I couldn't do something. And now, by taking these chances, I feel like I can do anything.
Rounding the bend now with my last expert, and I'd like to introduce to you my sister in prosperity. She's someone who I've followed for years, and I admire her transparency and her tenacity. She's like the other experts who have overcome self-doubt to succeed and achieve at a high level. And this is my girl, Lisa Nichols. Lisa gives some heartfelt tips on intuition and action to overcome self-doubt. Take a listen to Lisa.
When you ask the question, what do I do when it feels like I failed, when I feel like I've lost, or I have moments of doubt? I do a few things. So let's talk about when I have doubt, because doubt normally happens before failure. Because doubt is in the planning. And what I realize is doubt is like fear for me. And I use doubt and fear in the same way. So doubt feeds me the information that I don't have enough information. So let me say that again. Doubt feeds me with the insight that I don't have enough information. Because if I'm doubting the idea, I'm doubting the direction, I'm doubting the strategy or the plan, then I realize that I don't have enough information to get me to a very clear no. Sometimes heck no, or H no, or yes, heck yes, H yes, right? Doubt says, I don't know enough. I don't know enough. Doubt about anything, anyone. Doubt about a business plan, doubt about a direction in your life, or doubt about a person. And sometimes you can gather all the information you can, and then the rest is blind, unwavering faith. There's 2 things that can dissipate doubt. Collect more information and know when it's time to lean on your faith. But when you lean on your faith, It's because you're moving in a direction where you can say, I know I'm supposed to be in this direction. A lot of times when people lean into their intuitive calling, their intuitive pull, and they're going in a direction they know they should go in, but they're doubtful of what's in that direction, it's because, to me, you couple an intuitive movement with a solid plan. When you have both of those, man, you win like you win, or at least you cannot lose, because you took what felt right and you put a solid plan under it. The mistake I see a lot of people make is that they're so engaged in the intuitive pull that it feels good, that they think that feeling good is enough. No, you need to make a plan. How many hours a day are you gonna create the infrastructure under that feel-good feeling? Because I guarantee you, if you don't put enough action, enough consistency, and a strong enough strategy under something that feels good, it ain't gonna feel good for long.
You've been given sage advice on how to overcome doubt by my favorite experts, Tony Robbins on priming and how everything around you affects how you feel. You have Mel Robbins, who talks about the imposter syndrome. She says, you're gonna feel doubt, but you have a choice on what to do about it. She says, do that thing anyways. Then you've heard from my big guy, Michael Strahan, and he says, push outside of your comfort zone, even if you're scared, and believe and know that you deserve to be where you've worked to be. And then you finally have Lisa Nichols, who says, doubt means that you need more information. Then use your intuition and solid plan to bring about success. Out of the four, who was your favorite? Let me know your thoughts. And if you want to join a community of women and some awesome men just like you, I have a Facebook community where I share up-to-date coaching tips called D's Keys to help you navigate through life and through entrepreneurship. Check out that link below as well. If you like this video, please let me know by liking it below, subscribe and share it with your friends, and also comment below with the word helpful if this video helped you in any way.